Hello and welcome to Gadget Joe. Today we're going to take a look at the DZ09 smartwatch, a smartwatch that only costs £10. Now you may be thinking, £10 for a smartwatch? Is it any good? Well, I'm going to tell you right now what I think of it and whether I think it is good or whether it needs to be in the bin. Starting with the watch itself, you've got quite a premium looking watch. You've got a nice brushed stainless steel effect on the front face. The back is quite plastically and the back battery case is actually quite flimsy. But on the front it looks surprisingly good, it looks surprisingly premium. You've also got the 1.56 inch screen on the front, followed by the home button, which actually doubles as a back button. You've also got a camera on the front, at the top, next to the microphone. The strap is a rubbery plastic feel. It's quite impressively sturdy because it actually holds the watch firmly on your wrist. It's very well built, even the hinges that hold the face of the watch to the strap feel very sturdy. So as far as build quality and appearance, taken away from the back of a watch because you're not actually going to see it when you're wearing it, I think this is a good thumbs up from me on the design because it actually looks more expensive than it is. So, moving on to the watch itself, it has an Android look to the watch, but it is a different operating system altogether because you don't actually have Android on there, so you cannot download those further apps. It does, however, with that said, come with Facebook, Twitter and WhatsApp. Now I'll come on to them again in a moment. Switching the watch on is easy. You simply push hold of the home button on the bottom. As you turn it on, you are greeted with a watch face. Tapping on this watch will allow it to change to another one. You can do this again another time and it reveals a third watch face. The screen is a 1.56 inch LCD display and it's actually surprisingly good. It's nice, sharp, vibrant. It's not going to compete with your mobile phone, of course. You can view images on it. In sunlight it's actually quite visible. It does lose some visibility due to the sunlight naturally, but it's still legible even in harsh sunlight. Moving on to what's on the phone, you start off with a camera. At the top of the device you see this camera. This is actually a 2 megapixel shooter. This is all well and good, but it's not as good as it sounds. The camera is of diabolical quality, it's not the best, and also, due to the awkward angling of the camera, it's very difficult to get an accurate shot of what you're after. This watch will connect to Android phones through Bluetooth and will also allow all the apps to work on the phone via an app called BT Notifier. There are other apps that you can download that will work just as well, if not better. So if you've got any suggestions for any better apps, please comment them down in below. When it comes to connecting to iPhones, however, that's where it gets a little bit tricky because there isn't actually an app out there yet for the iPhone that will allow this watch to work wirelessly completely with your device. You'll still be able to get your text messages through, you'll still be able to get your phone calls through. When it comes to Android, this is where the watch works best because you can do, like I mentioned earlier, the camera viewer. You can start up your camera on your phone and view it on the watch. Now this is okay if you're taking a photo of a group of you and you want to be in it. You can actually control it from the watch itself. You can transfer music via Bluetooth, and the speaker is actually surprisingly loud. It is a little bit tinny at the full volumes, but it's certainly something that you can listen to. Of course, if you're going to listen to music and you're an audiophile, it's not going to replace a speaker, and your phone is a better speaker. As I mentioned earlier, it's got WhatsApp, Twitter and Facebook on the device. Now, you can't access these through Bluetooth, so how does it work? On this watch, it's actually got, if you take the back off, not only the battery, which is a 380 milliamp battery, and it lasted me 2 or 3 days of constant use, you also get a memory card slot, which is up to 32GB expandable. But next to that, you've got a SIM card slot, so the actual watch can become its own mobile phone. It will support a 3G SIM card. Again, going onto Facebook, Twitter or WhatsApp isn't going to be the best experience, because you're not going to be able to view a great deal. The processor inside the watch isn't the fastest. It's certainly not a replacement, but it is very practical if you're not in a position where you can keep taking your phone out. Messaging on the watch is quite difficult if you've got large hands like mine. With that being said, it is not impossible to type on it. It does work, it just needs a little bit of patience and getting used to it. Using the phone on the watch is also another good advantage, because it comes with the ability to use either a SIM card in it or, of course, connected to Bluetooth to your mobile phone. With that, you can accept calls, you can make calls from your phone through your watch. The only downside is obviously it's going to be loudspeaker, and the speaker's pretty loud in the sense of voice. The thing I struggled with when it comes to calls is the fact that the microphone is placed at the top here near a camera. Naturally, if you had a watch and you was going to talk through it, you would talk at this angle. Because this microphone is at the top, you tend to have to talk like this, or like this. What another thing I need to mention is the microphone is not the most sensitive. You do tend to have to raise your voice for the other person to understand what you're saying properly. So if you're using this out and about, it's probably not the most ideal, because you are going to be pretty much shouting down the street with the other person shouting back at you as well. But, with all that said, for the price of the actual watch, which is only £10, I'm going to keep reminding you of that, it's only £10. That's phenomenal for what you can get for £10. Whether it be a portable music player, whether it be a mobile phone, a separate mobile phone, a notifier for your mobile phone, a camera viewer, a storage device, or just a watch. It does all this, and it comes for such an unbelievably low price. That's what you need to focus on here. You're not going to get the same premium quality that you're going to get from the Apple Watch, or the HTC, or the Samsung, or the Sony Ericsson offerings. You're just not going to get that because you're not paying that price tag. But as far as quality goes, I don't think you're going to get anything better than this for only £10. And I found that it's actually surprisingly comfortable. I get a lot of compliments on it. So, my personal opinions of this is, it's not the best smartwatch in the world. It's not the most functional. It's not the highest quality. But the build quality is surprisingly very, very good. I found that I very rarely touched my phone when I'm out and about, because it just came through on here and I could see what it was. I could see if it was something important, and if I needed to get my phone out, I could do that. From my opinion, it gets a thumbs up from me. Now, if you're wanting to buy one yourself, of course you can do that. I'll drop a link in the description below. So if you want a smartwatch that looks good, that's practical, that's functional, that's hard wearing, you couldn't look any further than the DZ09. It just makes sense. For £10, and plus if you lose it, or if you get it broken, or anything like that, it's only £10. Well, that's pretty much me rambling on about this watch now. I'm going to leave it at that. Again, the link is in the description below. If you liked this video, don't forget to press like. If you disliked it, press dislike. Please leave a comment in below what you thought, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe for more content. Thank you and goodbye!